They're over here thinking, "Oh, she's the gold digger," when actually she's the money maker. We got a cheater here, guys. We got a cheater.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Why is this specifically towards me? What did I do?
I don't know if girls have the same loyalty. It was an accident. He didn't
No,
mean
he
it.
did know, and he did cheat.
For a girl, you know what I've heard a lot growing up? The phrase man of the house, be a man. And I'm not just talking about Mulan's very iconic song, Be a Man, which is, I love that song. But I've heard that a lot. What does that mean exactly? When I was younger, I used to think it meant, oh, that you're probably physically imposing dude. You know, you might be buff, you might be kind of like beefy as a dude. And that's kind of the image I have of man of the house. And that's when my mom asked me, oh, what's your dream guy sound like? Or even when talking with the girlfriends, what's your dream guy like? That's what I pictured. I'm like, if that's the supposed dream guy or man the house, that's the image, right? I went, yeah, not for me. I'm never getting married. I'll stay single forever. And now look at me. I'm engaged, guys, engaged. But growing up, I feel like, particularly as a lady, right? My view of man of house has changed a lot. And the idea and concept of be a man, what's the dream guy or what's the ideal dude like? Now, today's theme is be a man or man of the house. And we're going to be exploring how OP, whether or not they are the man of their households, are dealing with the problems in their lives. So let's get into our first story. Our first story is from the subreddit aita. Am I the a-hole for walking out of a family dinner after my parents insulted my Thai wife? My wife, Fa, 32-year-old female, is from Thailand. We met while she was studying in the US, fell in love, and got married 5 years ago. She's an amazing woman, kind, hardworking, and incredibly smart. Unfortunately, my parents have never fully accepted her. From the beginning, they made offhand comments about her being a gold digger and only marrying me for a green card. No matter how many times I told them otherwise, they held on to this ignorant assumption. It doesn't matter that Fa has a successful career, makes her own money, she makes more than me, by the way, and has never asked me for a dime, because in their eyes, she's one of those foreign women who trap American men. Last weekend, we had dinner at my parents' house. At first, things were civil. But then my dad smirked and said, "So, Fa, now that you've been married 5 years, do you finally get to keep your green card?" My mom laughed and added, "Guess you don't have to be in your best behavior anymore, huh?" Fa went pale. I was furious. I told them to cut it out, but my dad doubled down and said that they're just joking, but that we can't blame them for wondering how much of this marriage was for love and how much was for the visa. My mom nodded and said they just wanted to make sure that I wasn't taken advantage of. That was it. I stood up, told them we weren't staying for dinner, and walked out with Fa. In the car, she was quiet, then finally asked me if they really think that way of her, which just broke my heart. Now my parents are saying I embarrassed them in front of the other families and overreacted. My brother says I should have just kept the peace and spoke to them later. They're refusing to apologize, claiming it was just a joke. I don't regret standing up for my wife, but now I'm wondering if maybe I should have just waited until everyone else is gone to call them out on it. Now, there is a little update from OP. OP says, I'm 33 years old, didn't think to add it, but wanted to clarify as some may think there's some huge age gap between us. So, interesting. I have to say, this story, when I saw it, I kind of thought of one of those shows. What is it? 90 Day Fiance, Marrying Millions. Both shows of which I'm guilty of. I've watched many, many seasons of. I haven't caught up to the latest ones, but I mean, the drama is pretty much similar, I would say, across all the couples. You get a lot of similar um, types of struggles that the couples may come across. Uh, okay, where is the stereotype from? I'm curious. The whole, okay, if you have a wife, not from the US or a foreign wife at all, that other people automatically make the assumption of, oh, green card. Is she marrying for a green card? Is she marrying for the visa? She's not with you because there's no way she's with you because she actually loves you. It's kind of weird to make that assumption of other couples. And here's the thing. My perspective is maybe this is a challenging take on this. If two people are happy and willing and there's no actual conning or scamming or lying involved, I wish them well. Go be happy. Go right into the sunset. Find your love. If you didn't meet your love in the same country, so what? You know, it's cool. I think it's cool. You have a blend of cultures too. And usually it comes with sharing other, I guess, different growing up experiences with each other. That's pretty rad. That's pretty cool, I have to say. So I don't find an issue with it. Now, I will commend OP here for standing up for his wife in this situation. At first, as we were going through the story, I'm thinking, oh, okay. I mean, bare minimum, of course, you should be defending your wife in this case, even if it's to your parents, right? Because they really said something very offhanded and it definitely wasn't meant to be well intentioned. Like, I don't think this was a, oops, I said something and I misspoke or my bad. No, this was, let me just throw out insults casually, but pretend I'm being somehow like adopting a nice tone about it. It's like fake nice. Ew. That just, I hate that. But knowing now that OP actually called out his parents, not only in the instance that they said it, but in front of other family members. So it seems like this was some sort of like bigger gathering dinner because the brother was there. There were other family members there, I guess. Yeah, the parents to me, this screams intentional and they thought you would let it slide because you've married your wife for 5 years. Okay, it's one thing if you just met this girl, maybe you met your partner for the first time, and I get they would have concerns if this is their first time meeting her, or they might have some, assumptions beforehand, not knowing who she is. But it's been 5 years. How have they not gotten with the program yet? Like, where is this coming from? The animosity. The ironic part to me is they're over here thinking, "Ah, she's the gold digger," when actually she's the money maker. So I love that for you. I love that for your wife. Good for you both. What are your thoughts so far?
Where do I begin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at least my impression is that the parents truly think that in some way, right?
Yeah.
And
I think they believe it. It's
and
not
their
even like a joke.
right and their so-called joke was just masked
Yeah.
insults. And especially, I guess the part that is kind of funny for me is that they're claiming that I guess their son embarrassed them,
Oh,
but in actuality, they were embarrassing him and his
that's
wife,
true.
and they were doing it out, I guess, in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So I think if they truly cared, they would have brought it up in private.
All right. I didn't think about that. You're right. Oh, that's so messed up.
And also, I mean, she was studying here. It's not even the I guess the stereotypical part where
Right.
some guy or a woman kind of goes abroad and
Right.
brings
Right.
back the bride in a sense like that.
Right. It
That's
wasn't like, what is it? There's a term, mail order bride.
yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah,
controversial, like naming of it? I don't know. But that I've heard that phrase before being thrown around. Right. So they actually met when she was studying here.
yeah.
Huh.
And I guess on a separate note, I guess there's that. I mean, I think it happens. There's some of that in every country, but especially,
Hmm.
I guess I noticed that in the United States that a lot of people think that United States is the only country where everyone wants to go and they're gonna do whatever it takes to get here.
That okay, that to me is very weird. So I grew up in the US, right? My family is Vietnamese, so obviously my parents immigrated over. But the weirdest thing growing up is everyone's assumption here that, oh my gosh, anyone who is not, I think outwardly, there are some people that think outwardly, physically, if you don't resemble the typical American, whatever that means, that some people will assume, what did you do to get here? And I'm like, I don't know. The normal channels that people typically go through. My parents were immigrants. I was born here, for example. But even especially for biracial couples, I see a lot where if they don't resemble each other ethnically in some way, all these wild thoughts come popping up, which is it's very off putting to me. Very off putting, especially when it's coming from family here. And you're right, they brought it up in front of other people. So yeah, there was no well intention. I'm confused. As parents, wouldn't you want to, or even family members, if you truly cared, wouldn't you say, hey, like, I just want you to let you know, like, there are known scams out there, and I hope this isn't one of them. Can I bring it up to you in private? And if the person's like, no, like, don't worry, this is not it. You trust my judgment, blah, 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 whatever. Like, It should rest there. And it seems like this doesn't feel like it's one of those, oh, this is the first time it's happened. I think for Opie to explode, it feels like this is probably again, here they go again. Here's what they're going to say again. And this time in front of other people.
But even so, even if it's the first time, this is,
Oh, yeah, still not good.
yeah, I would say it's not even an appropriate joke unless all the parties are,
In on it.
yeah, in
Yeah.
on it, and they have the same type of humor or understanding. I mean, you can potentially joke about this, but clearly not everyone was in on it, kind of.
Yeah. I find it funny that now the situation has almost been flipped on OP. So no one's commenting on, wow, good on you for staying up for your wife and your family because that was really out of line what they said. No, people are saying, you should have just waited till after. Why did you say it right then? But his parents didn't extend the same courtesy.
Right.
So why does he have to be the one to bow down and wait until things are quiet? That seems weird to me. That the party that's wrong needs to just shut up and just slowly fade away in the background. That's what it feels like. Now, I do find Opie's update very funny. So his wife is 32 years old and he's 33. And I think he must have gotten something in the comments where people are like, are you a, what do you call this? Are you an old cougar preying on a young lady or something? I don't know. See, cougar I thought was for older ladies. I don't know what the phrase is for men. I guess, are you an old man preying on a younger lady? I guess some people assume that's another weird assumption that there is some huge age gap. Now, if you guys have ever watched Marrying Millions, where one party is like socioeconomically like, okay, one's just richer, right? Like usually one partner's loaded and the other one isn't necessarily loaded. They might even be more on the poorer side, whatever. But you see the different dynamics from that show. I highly recommend if you guys are into drama filled reality TV, you just want to put something on. You don't have to exert too much attention to, like something to play in the background, even. I think that might be interesting watch for you. But even then, I okay, this might be another hot take, but I think age is but a number. As long as both are two consenting adults in parties, and they are both mature, well, at a mature stage of their life where they can make decisions. And I'll even say, like, one of my own aunts, like, she found love at the age of 60 something, and her partner was significantly older by 1 or 2 decades or whatever. And they were in love and they were together and very happy for a long time. So to me, it's kind of like I care more about the values than like the age gap here. So I'm surprised that there's so many assumptions flying around about OP, even from Reddit, who usually is more like, I think, picking at the details with a fine tooth comb. Like people must have made assumptions about, oh, well, is one richer than the other? Is one older than the other? Like if two people are happy, just let them be. Let them be. But let's see what the comments say. First comment, I can totally imagine my narcissistic family having the same reaction, belittling my partner for no reason other than their own ignorant biases. It must have been so painful for your wife to hear those comments, and standing up for her was the right thing to do. You shouldn't have had to endure that kind of disrespect, and I truly believe that if more people had your back like you did for her, the world would be a better place. Do you think they'll ever come around, or is this a pattern with your family? Now, Opie does respond. He says, to be honest, if they haven't come around after 5 years of marriage, then I think they'll never accept it. I could somewhat understand it when we were still in the dating phase that they were worried about me. But all these years later, it's just straight up racism at this point. It's if it's not the gold digger and the green card jokes, then it's something else like all ties eat bugs or some other ignorant stereotype. Okay. Okay. I do have to say something then. Knowing that this has happened multiple times, I almost want to borderline say you're a soft a-hole for letting it get this far. Because clearly from your response, it's happened multiple times. Why haven't you gone low contact? Why haven't you gone no contact with the parents, to be completely honest? But then again, I am also sympathetic because not everyone's willing or wants to make that choice. Like familial bonds are tough to handle. And maybe you don't want to completely cut the relationship. But for the sake of peace of mind in your family, I wonder just how much your wife has been enduring and how many times she's been humiliated by all of these phrases. Because even this, all ties eat bugs. How do Thai people feel about this? I mean, come on. This is giving off soft a-hole. Because while in the moment, to answer your question, you weren't, you did what you did. You stood up for your wife. Great. But I feel like there could have been things to prevent even this happening, like going low contact with your parents. I don't know what you plan on doing in the future, but I don't know. It's time to maybe snip, cut some toxic relationships from your life. What do you think? Too harsh? Or do you think OP's too soft?
I don't think it's too harsh. I would say maybe it's about right. I don't know what. Yeah, as you mentioned, if this has been going on, then
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say this is not too harsh.
Yeah.
Perhaps even too lenient.
Yeah. I think the fact that OP's kind of questioning himself and how his brother's like saying, hey, bro, you should have waited. I'm sensing that sort of soft leniency or maybe enablement almost. Another comment from Fluffy Sheepy. Oh, such a cute username. Not the whole, you can't keep the peace if there was no peace to begin with. They shot first and have been shooting for years. They're just mad you aren't willing to let them use your wife for target practice anymore. Though it really shouldn't have taken 5 years for you to put your foot down about it. You are an a-hole for that, but not for the actual question being asked. Telling them otherwise wasn't strong enough, and you know that. But anyway, better late than never. I think this comment literally took the words right out of my mouth. A-hole in general, not in this one case that OP's asking though. I really don't think the telling them otherwise is going to fix anything. The idea that I think some people just have certain values, right? And certain thoughts. No matter the science, the logic, the reasoning, there is no reasoning with crazy. And I think this is one of those things where I don't honestly think your parents care, OP, if your wife really ate bugs, quote unquote, or really was the gold digger, or really was the moneymaker in the relationship. Like, I don't think any of those details matter. Even if you told them, actually, wife makes more than me. And I would caution against that, actually. Don't reveal that. But even if you had told them, I don't know that they would treat your wife with more respect. It just feels like they have these views about her already, and there's nothing she can do to change it. I just wouldn't waste any more time of your time or your wife's time trying to rationalize and reason it away. Because at the end of the day, I think that's just how your parents feel. As sad as that is, and as unfortunate as it is. So my verdict overall, I'm agreeing with this one. The story's pretty new. No overall verdict from Reddit yet. But I'm stamping this as overall, you're not the a-hole. Although smidge a-hole in general if you're letting this slide continuously. So it depends on what you do from here, OP. Defend your wife, defend your family, and snip, snip, cuts out some of those toxic relationships in your life. Now, that's my perspective, but was I too harsh? Was OP too lenient? Are we in agreement, guys? Like, let me know in comments. And if you're enjoying this read so far, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Now, our next story is from the server AITH. Now, this one, we're switching gears a little bit, and you guys will see why. I chose this story specifically for M, my fiance, also dubbed by you guys as Mr. Deep Voice. I wanted to hear his perspective on this. So, OP says, I am 21 years old male, and I think I cheated and messed up big time. For 2 years, I've always been loyal. Never looked at anyone else, never even thought of doing something like this. But something happened. And as I write this, my hands are literally shaking. I don't know how to process.
Wait a minute.
What?
Why is this specifically towards me? What did I do?
It's relevant. It's relevant. Like, we'll see. OP says, I don't know how to process. Couple of days back, I went to my barber shop. My regular guy, the one who's been cutting my hair for the past 2 years, wasn't around. He was a little away, busy with something. Another guy waved at me and said, come sit. I should have waited. I should have given it a second thought, but I didn't. Without thinking, I sat down and he started cutting my hair. 10 minutes later, my guy walked in. We had a crazy eye contact moment. I could see in his face the disappointment, the betrayal. I don't know. Am I the a-hole? So before I say anything, go. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a betrayal moment.
Yeah?
Kind of, yeah. Usually if you have a, I guess, hair person or
Yeah.
barber, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Like your guy, right?
Yeah, usually, like if you like the work, that the person's doing, you kind of usually go back to that same person. Unless that person's not available, I guess. Then
So you think OP cheated in this case?
I mean, did he know that that his usual guy wasn't there?
So he saw him, but he looked busy. But then another person in the
Oh,
same shop waved him over and went, "Come over, sit here." So he
yeah.
wasn't really thinking. He sat down and then the guy started snipping away.
Mm, it would be very hard to defend his actions here.
It's a gray
Yeah,
line.
that's
It's
not a
a
gray
gray
line.
line.
This is
No.
um,
Dang. We got a cheater here, guys. We got a cheater. Mm-mm. So when I read this, I was baffled. Okay, guys. I don't know if girls have the same loyalty when it comes to this, to be honest. Because this story, let me tell you guys, it was upvoted over 24,000 times. Okay? So people have a lot to say about this one. When I read it, I saw the headline, "I think I cheated and messed up." I'm like, how do you think you cheated? What a-hole idiot thinks that they might have cheated, but they're not sure? Like, what? But then when I read it, I was very confused. As a girl, like maybe it's just me who's confused, okay? Let me not speak for the ladies for this. I was like, yeah, your person was busy, so you went to someone else. What's the big deal? Emma's shaking his head at me right now. Well, I'll tell you this, right? I have been to, okay, am I like a hair hoe? Maybe I'm a little bit. I'm very picky with who handles my hair, okay? It's a very delicate process, delicate balance. Like I color my own hair, guys, because I have not been to a good hair colorist yet, unfortunately. Like I've spent hundreds before on different people doing it. Mm-mm. I swear I color my hair best. And other people have told me that. So who knows? Maybe they're lying to me. But every so often, like for me, picking the right hair person is a combination of things, right? It's one, how close are they to me, right? Like I'm not going to drive 2 hours away unless they're just that amazing and they're the only person who can do my hair well. But pretty much, yeah, close proximity. How close are they? What's their price point? Because I've seen anywhere for women's haircuts from, at least in the ones I've been to, from 40 to 60 to, depending on if you're doing anything else with it, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And we're just talking basic cut and blow dry. That's it. Maybe a wash, depending on the place. So that's pretty much it. I'm, I, I have to say, so those are my two top priorities. Oh, yeah. And third one, obviously, is if they can cut my hair well, right? Because every girl has had the nightmare of you go to a hairdresser, you tell them to cut off an inch. Next thing you know, you come home with a bob cut. It has happened. It has happened. We all know it. So for me, I guess I'm not that loyal when it comes to hair stylists or hair cutters, I guess, because I just go wherever they're good. I sound so disloyal. I sound so disloyal. And then we have M over here. And when I met M, he had been going to the same haircutting guy, barber, for years. I was shook at his commitment. I'm just like, how? How do you go to the same person? And it's not like this person is like the closest or the cheapest haircut either. It's just the place he goes to. And now I'm wondering, is this a guy thing or is this a general person haircutting thing that I'm just not clued in on? Do you have a sense of loyalty towards your barber or hair cutter?
I'd say so. Yeah, especially if they do a good job. Like, why wouldn't they come back?
I don't know. Am I the weird one? Like after my first cut, even if I like it, I want to see what else is out there. I want to see what else is good. Like compare prices.
You hair hoe.
Like for real. I'm like, this place is okay, but can I find better? Where is the pasture greener? So I was surprised that people had so much to say. So your verdicts were sure he cheated. A-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I will make the argument he didn't know. Oh no, am I the one saying that no?
He did know. That's the thing.
It was an accident. He didn't
No,
mean
he
it.
did know and he did cheat.
Dang. Let's see what the comments say. First comment from Forsaken Tiger. Just do what everyone else does. Say you were drunk and you swear it was just the tip. I'm dead. I'm dead. I like the double the innuendo there. Just it wasn't me. I was drunk when I came in for my haircut. Sure. Another one. Sentient Shamrock says, I slipped and fell into a full-length haircut. I swear. Okay. I see some creativity in the comments. Another comment from Appropriate Dream. As a barber expert, this is what you do. You call the shop later on. You ask for your guy. Tell him it's important. Get him specifically on the phone. You say, hey man, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know you were there today and I was kind of in a hurry, but I like the way you cut my hair and I want it to be you in the future. Can we exchange cell phone numbers so I can text you when I think I need an appointment? That's all you have to do. Oh my God. I love how no one's even like arguing that, oh, you're not an a hole. It's all good. No one is telling you it's all good. Everyone is saying, you need to fix this. This is how you fix it. Fix the F up right now. Oh, these comments are getting me, guys. Oh, this one's good. Comment, alternative, fake your death, change your name, get plastic surgery, and move. There is no in between. I love it. It's hilarious. This one has over 5,000 upvotes for this comment. I wasn't sure at first, guys, but after our discussion, I feel like, you know what? Yeah, who am I to argue with the people here? Yeah, OP, you're an a-hole. Just fess up to your barber. Say what you have to say. No, I'm kidding. Be honest. Fess up. Ask for forgiveness. And then hope that he puts you in his calendar for the next appointment. That's my advice to you. What would you do? What advice would you give for OP here?
I don't think I would make that mistake.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're that confident?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, our next story is one from Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my partner decide how I have to spend my gift? I live with my girlfriend and we've been together for just under 4 years. My mom recently decided to give me 1,800 pounds. Wait, is this pounds or euros? It's a sign with a little squiggly.
Is it a euro sign?
I don't know. I feel so American right now. I feel like a bumbling American.
Well, you said pounds, right?
I'm not sure.
And you said mum.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it's pounds. Maybe it's
No,
pounds.
let's assume it's pounds.
Let's assume it's pounds. Well, it's a sign that's like a little squiggly. Let me just look this up. What is the sign for pounds? What is the sign for
I think
pounds?
it's pounds.
Aha, it is pounds. Oh, for the pound unit of sterling. That tells me nothing. I'll be honest. So OP says, I live with my girlfriend and we have been together for just under 4 years. My mom recently decided to give me 1,800 pounds. I had decided to save the majority of it, but spend some of it on things for myself. I decided to get some new clothes, some new books, video games, and then a night away for my girlfriend and I. After this, I'll be left with around 1,300 pounds to save. My girlfriend and I went to my mom's house at the weekend, and she mentioned the money. At this point, I hadn't told my girlfriend, so it came as a shock to her. When we got home, she asked what I was doing with the money. I told her what I had planned. She mentioned that we were saving for a house within the next 4 to 5 years, so mentioned the money would be good to go towards that. I reiterated that I had already told her how it would be spent. I said part of the money saved will go into my savings account, specifically for the house, but the majority would go into my general savings account. She said, I'm not taking it seriously, saving up for a house, but I just pointed out that I have been regularly putting away money all year and will continue to do so, but this was a gift and I'd like to be able to actually enjoy it. She said if I wasn't putting it towards a house, then it could pay for our holiday next March. I said no and stated again what it was for. I remind her that the money is a gift to me, yet she thinks she can say exactly how I should be spending it. She just said she was thinking of us. But I reminded her that the money is paying for us to go away for the night, so it's not like she's getting nothing, but she's being quite entitled. She just said she should be involved in the decision, but I disagreed as the money was a gift to me. She's just said I wasn't treating her like a partner and that we're supposed to be a couple, so she should be considered when I'm spending the money. But I just again said that she was being entitled and quite selfish. Am I the hoe for deciding how to spend the gift I was given? Ooh, I wish OP actually included his and his girlfriend's age, as well as their, I guess, a little bit of context on how they split up or deal with finances and how long they've been together.
Well, it's
Because
4 years.
has it been 4 years?
Yeah, they've been together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I did miss that then. So he does include that detail. So they've been together for 4 years. I guess let me rephrase my question for OP. I would have liked to know if there's actual intention for long term from OP's perspective, like to continue the relationship long term, if that makes sense.
I think there has to be because they're both saving for a house, right?
That's why I'm a little bit unsure because girlfriend seems like she's very much like, "Oh, we're trying to save for a house in 4 to 5 years," right? And OP's saying, "Yeah, I have a fund for the house and then I have my own savings fund." So, I don't know if they're prioritizing, like, with the same urgency, but I'm kind of focusing on that point for a reason, guys. Stay with me. I am in between. I'm kind of leaning towards not the hole for OP, but it might change depending on the context. And the reason why I say this is because even though they're not married yet, not all couples will end up getting married, right? But if you plan on staying together long term and you've been together with each other for years, I'm surprised that you don't have some more of like, I guess, in common financial goals or alignment because they have the goal of, yeah, we're both saving for the house, but is that a mutual house fund or how are they approaching that, right? Because I'm assuming they either have a separate account or they don't. And how do they view gifts? Because that I think it's a toughie, right? Because mom actually told girlfriend about the gift, which tells me that they must be, you know, pretty deep into a relationship and close enough that even his mom brought up the gift and said, "Oh, by the way, I gave him this amount to the girlfriend." You know? So it feels like she's already part of the family and in the know. So I'm surprised that OP withheld that information from girlfriend and didn't tell her anything at all up until when mom was the one to bring it up. Which is why I'm a little bit concerned because you're together for like multiple years and you're planning on moving in together in 4 to 5 years, I guess, or buy a house together. And yet she didn't know? Like if it was like $100, $50, which is still a lot, I wouldn't say anything. Like I don't feel like you have to. Not that OP has to supply this information, but it seems like they're close enough and serious enough in the relationship that even mom said something before OP did. So I'm wondering if there's something else going on. But I guess in general, I don't have any problems with how OP spends it because at the end of the day, I think he is right. The gift was to him. So it is up to him how he spends it. Like I'm thinking to myself, if M, my fiance, now we're a little bit different because we're engaged, but if he were to hit the lottery and he didn't tell me, oh, I would have some very choice words to say about that. Not because I feel entitled to the money, not like that, but I would feel entitled to the news at least. Like, hello, when do I chop liver? I'm your partner. Tell me if you hit the lottery, right? And I think I agree with the girlfriend in the sense of, oh, I want to be part of the decision in some way. Not that you have to fine wine and dine me, and blow it all on something I want. No, but mentioning it would mean something to me. So that's rubbing me the wrong way here. But I don't have a problem with how he actually spent the money. Does that make sense? I have a problem with how he approached it, not with how he's allocating it. I do think if the girlfriend is, not accepting OP's no and saying, okay, I heard what you want to spend it on, but I want to spend it on our next March vacation. I want to spend it on this, or you should put it on entirely in the house. I think if she keeps insisting like this, then I would agree. Like, yeah, that's very entitled. That's a little selfish. You want to respect your partner's wishes as well, the person who's actually gifted it. I think one thing for sure that would change my mind is if mom had said, this is for you and girlfriend, because I know you guys are saying for house, or in general, this is a gift for to the both of you, that would automatically make OP the a-hole. But in this case, I'm saying tentative, not the a-hole. What do you think?
Yeah, I think with the assumptions I guess we're kind of making, I would
Yeah.
say OP is probably not the a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, I mean, you could argue. I mean, you can make a lot of comments about their
Right?
relationship is that yeah, they're kind of tying, or are they tying their finances together and not being.
See, that's a question mark, right?
Yeah,
Because how can you both be saving for a house long term 4 to 5 years and not have a financial plan together?
right. And then some people might argue, well, you're not married, so legally, does this is a stupid idea. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit overlooking that because I don't think that's the core issue. Because there are probably some people that have mutual
Yeah.
trust in each other that even if things
Without
fall
marriage,
apart,
like they're still, yeah.
they would each do the right thing.
Hmm.
But I guess overlooking all of that, yeah, I think I would say it kind of depends on how the mother gifted the money. Whether she
Yeah.
might have just given it to the OP, but it said, yeah, this is money for you guys to spend in a sense, or is it more just
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just for you only for whatever? Um, I think that would, I guess, make the at least determination for me whether OP's an a-hole or not.
Right? Because what puzzles me is I'm ready to be on OP's side completely, 100%. But the fact that mom brought it up to the girlfriend is interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it depends how that came up. Maybe it just came up in passing,
That's
or
true.
so I
Oh, like,
wouldn't.
what did you decide to do with the money? Like, maybe just,
Right,
I don't know, dinner room talk or something
right,
like
right.
that. So, tentatively, not the whole, but let's see. Some of the comments say, first comment says, this is how I personally feel about monetary gifts. If you're unmarried and the gift was addressed to one person, it is that person's money to handle. If the gift was intended for or addressed to both partners, decisions should be made together. Gifts made to married couples belong to both partners. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there's like some, let me see if I agree with this. So if you're unmarried, gift addressed to one person, it is that person's money to handle. Yeah, I could see that. If the gift was intended for addressed to both, decisions made together. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. But gifts made to married couples belong to both. I'm tentative with this.
I mean,
I don't
legally, I
know.
guess yes, but
Okay. But realistically, like in practicality, I
there are
don't
probably
know.
some items that kind of doesn't make sense for one partner to
Yeah.
kind of use or have even opinion on. To be honest, let's say someone gets gifted, I don't know, like a personal item that's
Yeah, I wouldn't assume it's like, oh, for both of us.
like,
It's
yeah, like, or like let's say you get gifted a mug with your name on it or something. I don't know. Example.
yeah, I
I don't know.
wouldn't.
I don't know if it makes sense that it's kind of, yeah, legally it's both of yours, right?
Yeah,
If
and I doubt
happened,
in the
but
household it's like, oh, this is my mug. You can't
yeah,
use
yeah.
my mug.
So
But yeah, I mean, when it comes to money though, how have we handled it? I guess whenever we've gotten money, like we're very transparent in terms of finances with each other. So it's not like, I'm Vietnamese, so red envelope money. It's not like I'm counting pennies. I'm going, ha ha, in your face. You don't get any red envelope money for the year. Like, no, it's kind of like, oh, we have a shared expense. Okay, it's gonna go towards that. I'm not out here like, oh, this is all mine and this is not yours. So I don't know. It's very fuzzy. Now, I guess when I think of sudden monetary gifts, quote unquote, or things that come into the couple, if you won the lottery, would you tell me?
of course, given our relationship, yeah,
Yeah. Would you expect me to tell you?
yeah.
What if I withheld it for like a week?
Why?
There'd be no reason. I can't think of a like pseudo hypothetical reason.
Right?
But
Because
I
if
would say
you,
something.
yeah, if you did, then that would raise some flags for me because I would want to understand why.
Yeah. When I think of what I would use the money for, even if you want, I would expect it honestly to be, well, given the nature of our relationship, to be involved in the decision. I
For
would
sure.
prioritize your opinion, of course. But say, for example, if you wanted to put all the money to like, I don't know, what's like a random thing people do when they come into sudden wealth? Buy a house, buy a yacht. I don't know, like I don't know why those are the things, but buy a yacht or something like that. I would say, babe, why? Like literally my first reaction would be try to discourage you because I don't think it makes sense for us. Neither of us are boat people in any way, shape, or form. Unless you just want to flex. And then I'm like, what? No. So I would put my foot down. Would that make me the a hole? I guess yes, because I am denying you what you want to do with technically money you want. But for both of us, I feel like I'm trying to steer us towards a better direction at that point.
Yeah.
Man, part of me hopes that we'll never have to argue about such a financial decision. But then the other part of me is like, no, yes, I would love to argue with you about where to spend our millions and millions of lottery winning money. So, there's a trend. And it's a trend where it's like, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs. Like it's a trend where if like people show
Uh,
what they would spend the money on. So it's not like they would be living it up, but they would be spending on certain things that they've always wanted. In my case, expect me to be a round potato, guys, because I will just be buying unlimited seafood, crab legs, seafood boil, boba. I would just be feasting, probably for like a week straight. Not even gonna lie. So there would be signs. What would you spend it on if we came into like a sudden huge monetary gift?
Hmm. Maybe invest in a good advisor
You know what?
to
That's very
to figure out
reasonable.
how to
That's
best
very
use the money,
reasonable.
or
Okay.
how to avoid paying the taxes or as much taxes as possible,
Right? To
etc.
be smart about it.
Yeah,
We're
smart
not trying
about
to
it.
avoid the taxes, IRS.
Do
If you're
everything
listening to us,
legally.
do everything legally, of course. Of course. And we are responsible tax paying people. Speaking of which, this is random PSA, but if you guys live in the US and have not done your taxes for a year yet, the deadlines are creeping up, guys. Do them. Do your taxes. I love how yours was so reasonable and my approach went, the food. And then you're over here like, an advisor. Okay, so maybe the order sequence should be, if we came to Sunday Mall, M's route first, then my feasting. And probably we should, we would put a lot towards savings. I don't think our lifestyle would change that much other than my food expenses, but I just can't picture our life being that different. But maybe that's because we have yet to approach yacht level money. But there'll be signs, guys. There'll be signs. We hit it. Let's see what this comment continues with. So after they made the rules, my partner was gifted $25K from his grandparents, and I said, F all about it. It was gifted to him. We're not married. Your mom gave you a gift, and I think it's yours to do what you please. Okay. Pretty straightforward comment. Another one. Not the whole if it was a gift just to you, but I cannot imagine being with someone for 4 years and not mentioning receiving a gift of $1,800. I'm going to have to correct you there, comment. It's 1,800 pounds. Not me saying that as if I even know what 1,800 pounds is equivalent to. What is it equivalent to? What's your guess? 1,800 pounds to US
Closer
dollars.
to $2,000.
Let's see if you're right. Oh, yes, you're pretty close. So 1,800 pounds sterling. Such a pretty name for a currency.
Pound sterling.
Pound sterling. That's what Google's telling me.
I've heard that before.
But I feel like, is it that commonly used?
I don't know. I've heard it.
Imagine. Can you imagine I'm trying to get a water ice
Well,
or
no one.
a
I
pretzel
don't
and
think I've heard anyone say
pound sterling.
I've seen it written.
But most people say like pounds, right?
I would say so, yeah.
So 1,800 pound sterling equals $2,327.10. So you're close. You're pretty close. So commenter, but I can't imagine being with someone for 4 years and not mentioning receiving a gift of 1,800 pounds. Your mom obviously believed you had already told your girlfriend about the gift. Your girlfriend was probably caught off guard and embarrassed by the situation. To her, you now look shady. You also make no mention of how you split finances, whether you have debts or why your mom randomly gave you 1,800 pounds. Was the actual intent for both of you? If yes, then you are the a-hole. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm curious because girlfriend seemed very invested in what the money was used for. But at the same time, they've been together for years with long-term intentions, it seems, with the house. And mom even said the information. I'm wondering if this is a case where OP might be a little bit unreliable. Because we only see it from their perspective. Sometimes, though, I do think that in certain stories, you have signs of OP deliberately, hiding certain information or not sharing certain information.
Withholding the information.
Yes. Not sharing. How many times did I say not sharing just now? Like 3 times? Not sharing. Withholding the information. Like he's withholding his money. Dun, dun, dun. Now, OP does respond. OP says, no, the intent wasn't for the both of us, which is why I said my mom gave me a gift. If she had given the gift for both of us, I would have stated that. OP, your response is giving shady. Because you also make no mention whether or not there are debts involved or how you guys split finances when commenter clearly went into a whole paragraph asking. Now, not that you have to be entitled to share, but I would be curious because I think it would better paint the picture of whether you are the a-hole to answer your question. So I'm a little bit curious here why OP isn't really sharing. Typically, a lot of these stories do share. Like, oh, this is how we usually go about finances.
Didn't he kind of just say that it was for him and for him only?
But he doesn't explain whether that there's debts involved or what their financial split is when it comes to money, like how they approach it. Because the whole point of the comment, I think, was more about, mom obviously stated it in front of the girlfriend for a reason, or like mentioned it or brought it up,
Right.
Very curious.
You would probably need to hear it from the mom herself.
Yeah. I think so.
Because mom could have said, "Oh, here's the money for you," but kind of read between the lines, right? It
Right?
could be
It
for
could
both
be
of
like
you,
the intention could
right?
be slightly different depending on the situation. So for now, I am tentative, not the whole. And I think Reddit also marked the same way, not the whole. I'm tentative, not the whole, based on the information we do have. But who knows? Who knows? There could be some underlying story here. Let's see if there are any updates to this. It's a fairly recent story. I want to see if OP might have answered something more. Interesting. Okay. So OP does respond to a comment here. So this one says, the original commenter says, I think I'm going against the grain here, but slight, everyone sucks here, her more than you. Obviously, it's your money, and legally she has no say, especially in using it for vacation. But I know I would be miffed if my long term partner wasn't prioritizing our joint goals and instead of allocating it to his savings for our goal, that is in what sounds to be like still your own account that she doesn't have access to. It was just in a general account. Interesting. I like the use of the word miffed here. We got some different lingos going on. Now, OP says, like I said in the post, some of the money will be going in my savings account for a house, but I also need savings for other things. I mean, I guess that's fair, but I can see that even in the comments, there are some mixed opinions and questions about, oh, how will you be allocating it? Or how do you deal with finances as a couple? Oh, so OP just added another comment. Just addressing common comments, asking, okay, if you guys do get the house, what's the plan there? OP says the house will be split 50-50 with our initial contributions to the deposit protected in contract, so whoever puts in more would get more back in the event of a sale. Interesting. Okay. So I find it very funny that OP goes very in depth in some of these comment responses and yet completely does not mention anything else about still how he and his girlfriend approach finances other than the said house. I have to say, this story is burning my curiosity a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. And out of curiosity, if you guys are in partnerships of your own or relationships, let me know, how do you approach finances and what would you do in event of a big gift? Now, I'm not talking about 50 or 100 pounds or dollars, but say you come into a significantly more amount of money, a hefty chunk. What do? Would you tell your partner? Would you maybe withhold information? Tell them what you would involve them, only amount that would involve them specifically? Or would you be open and transparent about it? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm curious about how other people and couples like to approach their finances. And if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Those are our stories for today, and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed telling them and discussing them with you. And if you're tuning in from Spotify, don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.